Hello. Oh, I apologize for my voice. I just started my new job as a maze master, and I'm still getting used to my voice volumes when I'm on shift. But I just wanted to share something. So today I had to catch myself in a situation, and it was a bit like, oh, and in the moment, didn't really um, deal with it well, but I wouldn't say I didn't deal with it well, I just did the norm. But afterwards, it really bugged me. So I was like, I just need to put this out there and get some people's thoughts because, So I was leaving West Ham, East London basically, to come back home in South. And I got on the train. A man said hello to me while I was in the station, but I was on the phone to my mother. And this person said something to me and then said, well, he goes, you're in Ari. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay. Went down the escalator. I noticed he was behind me, but didn't really pay any attention to him, non-entity, in my evening. And I'm still on the phone to my mum. And then I realise he's behind me in the train. I'm okay. And I have a thing where I will walk through a train track and if the doors are still open, train track, walk through a train carriage and if the door is still open, I'll switch to the carriage, which is more convenient for where I get off. I did the switch of the carriage and when I sat down, he was next to me again. And I'm going, okay, whatever, it's your life. When my conversation ended, because I ended up on the ground, um, he's like, yeah, he goes, hi. I was like, Jesus, you scared me. Okay, cool, what are you doing here? Um, and he was like, oh yeah, I said hi. I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, I said, he goes, I was like, hello pretty, and you didn't seem to be hearing me. I was like, oh, okay, well no, I didn't hear you. He's like, where are you getting off? I said, oh, well, I'm getting off next stop. He's like, oh, okay. So I was getting to gather my shit and leave. Oops, bad words. Gather my stuff to leave. And he gathers his stuff too, and I was like, okay, maybe, like, because I don't like to think by other people. But he gathered his stuff to get off, so I was like, okay, maybe he lives close. He's like, oh, so, where do you live? And I was like, I live on the other end of South. I was like, I live up the road, because now I'm like, how did we end up in this conversation? And he just kept on talking. He's like, oh, so how do we keep in contact? And I was like, oh, okay, so he's trying to engage that way with me because I was like, I don't understand why this behavior. Like, he wasn't giving that vibe until he really said that, and I clocked. And I was like, oh, well, not gonna happen. I was like, oh, okay. Well, no, we are not going to keep in touch because I have a partner and I'm very happy with my partner. And then he was like, oh, so not even as friends? Well, no, because I don't do that. I like to keep my life simple. My male friend, he's like, oh, so you don't have male friends? Yes, I have male friends. I have plenty of male friends actually, but they haven't come on to me. I've met them in neutral circumstances, like I know them from work, and I don't know them like this, and they don't know me in this situation, so no. Um, and he's like, oh, okay. And I remember my mind going, okay, cut the conversation, keep it pushing. And he held out his hand, so I shook his hand because even though I didn't want to, I kind of felt because he had it there and he was just holding it there. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna shake his hand and cool, we'll be done with that. And then he held my hand, and I was like, yeah, no. So I collected my hand back. Um, and then he's like, oh, so we can't keep in contact. That is just what I said. But I repeated I was like, well, no, because think about it. If I was your woman, you would not want me to be giving my number to men who approach me in this scenario. was like, oh yeah, so I'm never gonna see you again. And in my head, I'm like, too right. And if I have anything to do with it, definitely. I was like, probably not. He's like, oh, so I can't find you anywhere. No. But thank you. Have a lovely evening. And then at this point, we've gone up the escalator. And he's like, oh, well, I should have gotten off in Canning Town. Now, I don't use this phrase often. But bitch, please. How the fuck is that my problem? That you should have gotten off stations back. I did not tell you to sit on the train and follow me. And literally, when he said that, something in my soul wanted to run on him and say, that's your business. But I didn't. I was like, oh, I'm sorry for you. But it ain't going to happen. I really should have said, well, that was your choice. And as he walked off, he was like, okay. And he kept trying. As I'm walking in the opposite direction, he's like, yeah, but I want to know. But maybe we could just know. And then by that point, I had reached my limit. But as I was coming out the station, I was going, how the fruck is a new word. How the fruck did I end up in this situation, in this conversation, in this exchange of uncomfortable words? And I had to have the realization that, because part of me should have, thinking about it, if I was not afraid of offending, I would have just been like, I'm sorry, it's been a very long day, I don't want to have a conversation with you. Skirt, please keep quiet, we're not having a conversation, is what I feel like I wanted to do. But part of me was like, oh no, you can't do that, because he's gone through all the carriages. And I think about it, I'm like, he went through the carriages, he followed me down the escalator, he didn't get off, he stopped. That was his choices. Why am I responsible for his choices? He made them without participation from me in any way, shape, or form. So why do I feel responsible? And it reminded me that as a woman, because I've been in several situations like this in my lifetime, I know several friends, and I guarantee almost every woman has been in some kind of situation like this. And I had to think to myself, no, we are literally programmed to not be impolite due to someone else's choices that they made without you. But now, because that person has made those choices, it is now my duty almost to be like, oh, I can't really say to go away, even though I really don't want to have a conversation because I don't want to be seen as rude. No. How about you were rude for following me, for engaging me in conversation, and not taking into consideration that I was not interested? And then even want to emotionally blackmail me. Oh, well, I should have gone off at Canning Town. Oh, that was your choice, babe. Is what I really should have said. But I just wanted to share that because it really took me aback. And I realised the rest of my journey home, I just was really uncomfortable. And for me, I try not to bite my tongue too much, but I had to check myself and be like, whoa, come on, Amelia. You know better than that. Definitely you know better than that. But it is, especially when you're tired or you're not thinking, or especially when you're unconscious, you fall back into unconscious habits. And that for me was a very lively lesson. But lesson learned. And of course, every situation is different and you have to judge each situation. But I don't want to be in uncomfortable, unwarranted forced conversation. When the conversation is that it's not about me being impolite. It's not my duty to account for your choices. My duty is to account for my own. And as a society, especially as women, we need to get out of the habit for just compensating, overcompensating in some cases, or dealing with, handling the choices that men have made without our permission or consent, and having to handle those. That's not our responsibility at all. But yes, that's the end of my mini rant. I'm going to go find myself food because I'm starving. Have a fantastic day, folks. Ciao.